Okay. Back to the game. What were we doing again?
You were doing
I
a
was
drift
driving toward the
challenge,
city.
and then you got lost, and then we got lost in the magic of Twitch.
I forget if I'm even going the right way for where I want to be, which is in the city, the heart of the city.
Oh yeah, and we were talking about how shiny and reflective everything is because it's all wet all the time. And then we were
It's just,
talking
like,
about
constantly drizzling.
districts and if the world felt varied at all.
I think it does, but I still think it's hard to become familiar with it because it is at night.
Right.
You know, it just feels like some part of that made it more difficult to sort of point out, recognize landmarks, and it's like,
It looks like it's broken up. It's like broken up into 4 different areas connected by long bridges.
yeah. So I want to pull up my map and look at challenge over. Do I want to go to Southport? No, I want to go to this area here. Drift challenges. An easy race. Let's do that. I ran that red light. I feel bad. I should go to jail.
Nicobus55 in the chat asking if it's on PC. We're playing on Xbox One, but the Need for Speed reboot will be released on PC, but not until like next year. Isn't that right, Ludwig?
That is correct. Yeah, they wanted to keep working on it so that it is a decent PC port.
Oh, Joe161, really getting to the heart of the matter here. Is the story any good? Because when I was doing research on this game before the stream, like every interview that the developers would give about, they would constantly talk about like the story being one of the big reasons they wanted to do like a complete reboot of Need for Speed. And that always just stuck out to me as like such a weird thing to prioritize in your street racing game.
Well, the story is about street racers.
Okay. That
It
much
is
is
live
true.
action.
Ooh. Yeah, okay.
So, you know, and they all like talk to the camera. They're pretending really hard that it's a person and not a camera.
Are we the camera? Or like you the player the camera? Like first person Gordon Freeman style?
Exactly.
Okay.
I would not say
is
the
it
story
a tale
good.
of love and loss and redemption?
I wish it was.
Oh dear.
I wish it was. It's more like the scenes are all like friends talking to each other. Like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we made some videos to post onto that YouTube of us driving really cool? And they're like, yeah, sure, it sounds rad. Fist bump.
Right.
And then you do it.
And then they did it. And then
They did it.
okay.
I mean, I remember their names.
And then the
only
story's
because
resolved.
I wrote
That's
them down.
I mean that sounds like it's got we're talking beginning, we're talking
They're
middle.
just like mission delivery
Yeah.
people.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, they have names, but like they might as be like, you know, Susan McDrift because she gives you drift style missions.
Right. So you're saying you wanted this to be like a late 80s Saturday morning cartoon where every character's name is like a pun about street racing.
Yeah. That would have been ideal. That would have been ideal. I guess I
There'd
wish
be a character
the
named
cutscenes were
Ed
even
Reese.
worse, so that you could at least appreciate them for cheese factor.
Yeah, for like being super campy.
Hang on, I wanted this challenge. I have to back up. So I like this. This is the one thing that I think open worlds bring to racing games. It's like there's none of that like select a race in the menu, wait for it to load, go to the track. Like you just drive to the thing you want and then press a button and get going. You know, and it feels very cohesive that way, which is pretty cool.
Bergzer B in the chat, hello to you too.
So we're doing a race. We're just doing a plain old race right now.
So like
Should not be losing to that car. But maybe it's modded extremely well.
Like I would wonder in playing through the game story mode, like about how long did that take you?
I would say it probably wraps up in about, I don't know, 8-ish hours. Like I spent a lot of time just looking for collectibles too, and just doing things on the side.
Uh-huh.
My
I would
problem is,
worry
like,
that
there's
it would...
not a whole lot of motivation to finish the story.
Well, yeah, I would say I would worry that like there wouldn't be enough variety because that's something like a lot of open world games really thrive on. Is like you can go and do a shooting mission, racing mission. You can go do bowling or play darts or fly a helicopter or whatever. But here you're You can drive a car. You can drive
like
a
you have different
car.
challenges and different tracks, and
Yeah.
I mean, I appreciate that part.
Okay.
It's also just fun just to drive from one end of the city to the other.
Yeah.
Because you also earn points. You're always earning points. But if you were not interested in completing events throughout the map, being chased by the police, finally. If you weren't interested already, the story is not going to change your mind. The story isn't going to be like, oh yeah, I should do, you know, some more events in my racing game. I should do some more races.
Okay.
You kind of have to come with it with a desire to do that anyway. I like that I'm just finishing my race while being chased by the police. This is cool.
Yo,
Although
Mama,
I think the police presence is too low in this game.
before we dive into that, Yo Mama in the chat asking if Ludwig, if you feel this game like takes advantage of the fact that EA basically took like an extra year to work on this game's development. Do you feel like they took advantage of having a little extra time than perhaps the rapid fire cycle that Need for Speed used to be in?
I mean, I think what they did with the time is probably nothing that would affect the core of the game, like the core conceit of what's important to it.
Right.
But I mean, visually it's great. I think it's a little more stable than the previous game was. But I also think there are a lot of things that I don't understand why it's online only sometimes, because I feel like the really cool thing about the previous game, Need for Speed Rivals, was that you had this big open world, and everyone was doing their own thing. Some people were racers, and some people were police officers.
Sure.
The game had two different modes, essentially. So if you felt like chasing other players, you could do that, try and arrest them. Or if you felt like outrunning certain players, you could do that. But you were doing your own missions, and sometimes you would be in a race with 6 other cars, let's say. You'd be going through the world, and as you went along, someone who was also another online player, they were sitting somewhere, and they saw you go by, and they started chasing you. So you're trying to complete your event, but it's also being affected by someone else. Like, it's kind of warping in an interesting way.
Okay.
It's becoming a little more dynamic.
Right.
And
they sort of they kind of naturally fold in the online element.
exactly, and you're getting points for completing your race and for evading the police, and the guy who's playing the police officer is getting points for chasing you. So cool stuff is happening for both parties. And while that's going on, someone else might be online doing a race in the opposite direction, and maybe these races on all these race cars intersect, and now like there's this sudden dynamic,
Sudden like cacophony of cars driving around each other.
And it's unexpected, but the game design allowed it, and it's really interesting and cool. And that is, I think, a good justification for being online only, because you're creating moments that are important to your game.
And they wouldn't happen.
Players.
They wouldn't happen if you were just doing that in single player.
Yeah.
Or it wouldn't be as interesting because it would just be a bunch of AI cars.
Exactly, but I feel like that stuff doesn't really happen in this game as often because of how spread out everyone is, because they're on different islands, for instance. And the police presence is really slim, and like the AI is easily foiled.
But Ludwig, to go back to that previous point about the game world, like that's really kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation for him, because on the one hand, if you make your game world smaller, yes, it allows for like those interactions to happen more frequently, but then you don't get to say like, look at how big and expansive our game world is, or people might even see that as a negative, like, oh, this is an open world game, but the world's tiny. Like, what is this, a PS2 game?
Yeah. I mean, I agree. It's a tough problem to solve. But in this case, like, I think they've scaled back some of that cool online stuff from the previous game so much that it makes it harder to justify the online only thing. Right? Because like this game, you cannot play it if the server is down at all.
Which means basically one day you won't be able to play this game at all, period.
I mean, while I've been playing it for review, and again, we can't say what our final score is or anything, we can only share impressions at this point.
Right.
The server went down a couple of times, sometimes when I was just watching a cutscene. Like, it kicks you out of the game.
And does it just stop your cutscene, mid-cutscene?
Yeah. It's just like you're done, you're out. The game goes back to the main menu. You cannot access it, or even access this world on your own, if the server is down.
Yeah, that level of, I mean, I'm sure gradually...
Like, at that point, it's not helping me. At that point, it's not making it a more interesting game.
Yeah, gradually as the years go on, we'll be more conditioned to, like, accept that kind of thing, but at least for now, like, that still feels really gross to me, like, handing over that much control to the publisher or to the developer about, like, can I play my game now, please? And they're like, okay, here you go. Or not right now. No, we're not playing right now. Go do something else. And you're like, but I paid for it. And I want to play it.
First wreck on the stream.
Hey, first of many.
Or those stream problems, man.
Get a chance to appreciate the damage modeling.
Yeah, but I think it looks great. It's really fun to drive these cars, especially, and like I like the customization. The level of customization is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not,
the ability for
really
giant
sure.
spoilers.
Yeah, like I mean, why even call this a reboot? Like I feel like it's not that different from the other games. It's kind of just reprioritizing things.
Yeah, I mean,
And
I'm
this
not.
one customization is really important.
Yeah, I'm not sure
driving is
who's
still
like
really good.
mopping their brow, like, oh, thank goodness, it's a Need for Speed reboot. I can finally like get into this series.
Like all that stuff they've added over the years that I didn't like.
I know the series has become so bogged down with all that cars.
I mean, I guess there's like, so this is a Vista. So these are some of the collectibles in the game. Instead of park there and take a picture. I hope it's not of these porta potties. I hope they don't consider that a Vista.
It's a joke. It's a gag
So
vista.
great. It's the VB petrochemical plant. I suppose is an interesting aspect. Should we try to destroy these porta potties? I don't know how easily they'll be destroyable, but
I
a little
mean,
bump. I hope there's no one in there.
you've brought it up now, so I feel like you have to do it.
Oh. I can try transporting one.
I'm about to witness the fruits of your labor as the stream catches up. Oh, this is magic. This is magic you're performing here. You are a car wizard. You are a car wizard, sir.
Alright, so let's see if I just leave it in the road, if anyone
Yeah. Oh, if somebody will drive by.
will be disturbed by it.
That would be great if another car pulled up. I just saw a police officer drive by in the background. You think he would have tried to stop this madness, which you are committing. It'd be great if another car just like drove up and stopped and just gawked at it with you. You look like you're observing the scene of a crime or something. Like you look guilty just sitting out here with the dead porta potty in the middle of the road.
Okay, but let me show you something else. You can
Okay.
turn off the engine.
Oh, you can go into stealth mode.
Stealth mode.
Stealth mode. Oh, the van guy didn't want to stop. Oh, come on.
So there's not enough traffic on this area, apparently.
Ah,
Nobody wants to drive by the refinery,
I know, it's not rush hour at 2 a.m. by the refinery. I will say, I almost hit a deer one time when I was younger, doing stealth mode in my car like an idiot teenager. Back in Arkansas. I was driving around in the middle of the night. I was going to sneak up on somebody in my car.
And I'm really disappointed that nobody took advantage of our porta potty placement. Maybe if I move the other one.
Yeah, you think you would need... like, nobody's going to stop for just one porta potty.
Right.
That's far too pedestrian, but 2 porta potties, ooh. Now you're cooking with gas.
It is near the refinery. Okay. Strategically positioning one on each of the roads so that we double our chances. God bless in-game physics. They would allow us to do this.
Oh yeah, so speaking of this game being always online, it reminds me of another game that was always online where things didn't work out too well. That game being SimCity.
Well,
Remember how
if
great
this
the
game
always-
launches tomorrow and it's
Yeah.
like SimCity,
Then maybe it won't
Unplayable.
be always online for very long. But we'll see.
maybe they have a higher degree of confidence this time.
That's true. Well, you know, maybe it's SimCity, maybe it was a test bed. Iron some of that stuff out. That guy over there that just drove by does not care.
Nope, nobody cares, I guess. Well,
Maybe if you had enough porta potties where you could just like line them across the entire width of the street, such that people would have to stop and appreciate them. Can you is there some sort of like signal to
oh, I
the
just
other
decided
players?
to boot it. You'll appreciate what's coming up.
Oh, okay, here we go. So yeah, you're gunning it, you're bailing, whipping it around. While I'm watching this, I was gonna say, is there any way to like signal to the other players where you are, and then have them come to you? Oh no! I will say, surprisingly durable. That porta potty.
Yeah. And if there is someone in there, they're having a pretty bad day.
They are. They've all of their bones are just it's like a bowl of macaroni inside of their body.
We're doing a race again. I'm going to do one more race in this car, and then I'll switch to a different car.
All right. Is there a way to, like, could you show us what happens if you suddenly, I guess not, if you were to suddenly lose your internet connection? It would be called the stream would just stop happening.
Yeah. I can call EA and ask them to pull a server to simulate what will happen.
Right. Could you just torpedo my game real
Could
quick?
we show
Thanks.
your video game in the worst possible light?
So I always play racing games just on default, like, hyper aggressively. Like, I always just try to run everybody off the road, you know, just bully your way into
They would do the
first
same to
place.
you.
Okay.
Let's face it. In-game video game racer people
Right.
care about you, Maxwell. They just don't.
It's dog eat dog out there. Do you have a wanted level like you do in Grand Theft Auto, since there is a police presence, or is it just?
You get like a the longer the police chase you, the bigger your fine will be.
Okay.
Crashed horribly. So did everyone else. So
It all evens out.
yeah, things are working out. Man, this city is not in good shape after this. There's a police officer involved.
Some rough turns.
He's just trying to get out of the race. Like, what is
He's
going on around me?
inadvertently become part of the race. I think he was like trying to pull over one guy and he didn't realize there's a whole thing going on. Also, props to the rest of the people in the race for like having the wherewithal to like continue with the integrity of the race, even though the police have gotten involved.
I'll let the man shut you down. Oh, the police officer is gone. Looks like his car rolled and he clipped out of existence.
He could not hang. Oh, hold on, I'm watching him now. I want to see him blink out of the world. We'll unmake him. So wait, you said there is no such mode where you can... Oh, he did just pop out of the world there, didn't he? There is no such mode where you can jump in a police car and chase other players around?
No.
Oh, that's too bad.
I do miss it because I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
There were power-ups. They were like you could deploy EMPs or spike strips.
Mm-hmm.
You would be chased by helicopters in the previous game. None of that stuff is in this, and I really miss it.
Do you think they would do something like an expansion pack for this game? Like treat this Need for Speed as a platform and then be like, here's like the Rivals expansion or whatever, and it would have those sorts of features in it? Or would
I think
they...
it would depend on how well it does, right?
Right.
And as far as I know, I think racing games have it pretty tough nowadays.
I mean, yeah, they do. It's hard to get people excited.
And I think most of the interesting or the best racing games right now are looking at sort of capturing other aspects of racing, not just like the look or feel of the cars, but
Right.
either how a video game is structured or like other aspects, like the romantic aspects of driving. Like Forza Horizon 2 is about like, what if you drove through the beautiful Italian countryside?
Right.
What if you went on road trips?
I mean, do you think a game like a Split Second or Blur or like one of the MotorStorm games?
Split Second is amazing.
Don't even talk to me about Split Second. I played all of that game. I've played so many hours.
Did you get 1,000 achievement gamer score?
No, I did not.
I did.
Did you? Okay,
So,
you
yeah.
got me there. You got me there. But I mean, do you think a game like that, which didn't necessarily do gangbusters when it initially released, do you think like the market would be more receptive to a game like that now, where it's like it's a racing game with these other elements layered on top of it, than it was back then?
Huh. I don't know. It's really hard to say, I think. I just don't know.
Because Split Second, ooh, it was so good.
So good.
You could blow bridges on people. You could call down airplanes, and they would crash, and it would change
It
the
was like a
layout
cool
of the
stunt
track.
driving game. It
Yeah,
was like
it-
racing plus like some other wacky element, whereas I feel like racing games are progressively becoming more realistic and less exciting as a result.
Right.
Even though the goal is simulation, I totally understand that, but
Well, does it have to be everybody's goal? I guess it's not
No.
Need for Speed's goal. Need for Speed's always been more of kind of an arcadey action racer.
yeah. So let's make a horribly ostentatious car right now.
Okay.
Let's do that. Pink? Pink's good, right? Pink's a good color for...
Can you do like custom decals on your car? Can you like painstakingly craft
I
a
hate
little
this
anime
already.
woman?
I love the GTR. I think it's a great car, but
Yeah.
seeing it in this neon pink that I've just created, which you will see
Oh,
very shortly.
it's slowly morphing into neon pink right now.
Maximum metallic, maximum smoothness.
Oh,
There we go.
This is
beautiful.
This is the worst thing, and it
It's
also
the worst thing. It really is.
It's more worse. I was gonna say,
no.
are there like custom decals where you can painstakingly like create an intricately detailed anime girl out of like tiny colored circles and put her on her car?
Of course, of course. I think I have to go under Edit, Paint, and Wrap, and then go Decals. So we could go on the side here.
It looks like you covered your pink
Look at
car in
all
like
the
cellophane
shapes.
wrapping paper.
Ooh. Do you want a cute cat or a cute dog?
I want. Oh, do the dog. Do the cute dog.
Now I'm checking for an anime goal, by the way. I think so. I've got ninjas.
Is Anime Paz in this game? Because somebody keeps hanging her poster up back at Mother Base, and I don't appreciate it.
Okay, let's go with cute doggy.
These are
Which
just.
dog
I'm
is
looking through
cutest, though?
looking at the decals menu now, and these are just some real A plus decals. Also, everybody in the chat is freaking out with the cute puppy dog picture. I think they really want the puppy dog.
Let's see. I want to make it really big
Oh yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you?
and stretched. Let's do that. Great. Confirmed.
I can't wait to see it. Okay, here comes the dog. There you are, kind of framing it up. And I think that, yep, here comes the magic. Here comes the magic. Yep. Yeah, I think you nailed it. I like how the ears are sort of cradling the two wheels on either side. It's very good. It's very tasteful.
This is too fun.
This is AAA right here. This is AAA. AAA auto insurance. Shout outs. Oh my! Oh god, the cat is horrifying. Much like a real cat, it stares into the soul.
Let's see what else we got. Logo types, teams, brands. How about we can do Hot Wheels
Leading the way,
or
son.
Criterion Games? Seems awkward.
Put a Hot Wheels on there.
How about Plants vs Zombies? How
Oh,
about that? Oh
I mean-
man, it's like it's the front of the. It's not good on the front. I think we have to go for the back. Actually, just gonna leave that there. Whatever. No, I'm not done yet. More decals.
I think you've gone mad with power, Luke. You've got decal madness.
There we go. Nice Plants vs Zombies decal. That's some brand engagement right there.
I think you need to take it on the road. I want to see this thing. I want to see this thing with the shiny, glossy, reflective world. Although honestly, if you had a car that did look like this, it would look jank as hell. But I doubt anybody would try to like steal it because then you'd be the guy driving around in the metallic pink car with animal stickers on the sides of the doors. It'd be pretty easy to spot.
We do need a gigantic spoiler though. Spoiler alert. Biggest spoiler I can put on this.
And just in case people in the chat are wondering, there is actual car customization outside of putting animal stickers and Plants vs. Zombies
Yes.
decal on the car.
Oh wait, I have to change the. Damn it.
Can you leave the spoiler, and you may be about to show this and I'm just going to miss it, can you leave the spoiler unpainted so that you really get that like DIY trashy feel to it.
Yes.
Ah, excellent, excellent.
Okay. And so I'm going to tune this car a little bit so that's a little driftier.
Okay,
It's pretty cool.
gonna make it more drifty.
You can like make very individual changes, like the steering response, tire pressure, all this like really nuanced changes. But what I like is the handling style at the top. You can just kind of like use that as a shortcut to roughly get your car where you want it.
Yeah, if you don't
This
want
car, I think, also needs like a lot of upgrades because it's not exactly cutting edge, which means it's less competitive than.
Are there any like high-end steering and pedal systems for the Xbox One yet? Like any steering?
Yeah, Logitech makes a pretty decent one.
Okay.
I would imagine it's better for something like Forza, but
Right.
it's just me.
Right. Something that's a little more obsessed with that. That
Buy a
level of
ridiculously
nitty-gritty.
expensive turbocharger right now.
Right.
Make this car go really, really fast.
Can you recreate that scene in Mad Max where you sit on the hood of your car and spit gasoline into it to make it go faster?
Of course.
Is that one of the? Is that? What was the thing we were talking about?
The intake manifold
Yeah.
destiny?
Is that the intake manifold destiny?
Okay. I think we're ready to take this baby out.
It's
I think my friends are calling me because they like asking me why I ruined a perfectly nice car.
right. They're like, Jesus Christ, dude! I just heard from a friend of a friend that you did a real travesty on your vehicle.
Here we go. It's debut. Oh no.
I'm about to see it. I'm ready. Do we have cockpit view in this game, by the way?
No, first person, but not cockpit.
Oh, so like no dashboard.
So it's like I think it's a bumper cam,
Okay.
which is it's not bad, but it's kind of disorienting to me. I love cockpit view.
Right.
Like it really makes you feel like you're sitting in the car.
Oh god, I'm seeing the car now. It's so hideous. I do like how it has the Need for Speed logo on the back window, just in case you forget.
Well, now we don't have to answer questions if someone's like, "What are you streaming?" We
That's
can just
true.
say,
That's
well,
true.
like,
What game is this? What game is this? Hey.
Let's do some donuts.
The animal faces are so good. They're really good. Really good. I'm really loving it. Have you seen like other players driving around with like crazy friggin' paint jobs on their
Oh,
car?
but I really hope that I'm seen and become somewhat of a legend. In
That's
this game
true.
Now. Like, have you seen the dog cat car?
Let the legend come back to life. Can you get? Oh wait, you know what you should? All the pro cars, they gotta have that underlight.
Well, that's true. I need to spend some money on that. Earn some bucks. Commit to it. Someone just parked in the middle of the road there.
It happens. I feel like that's what, when the game really gets out into the wild, like, that's going to be a constant hazard. It's just people parked in the middle of the road in your game. Because you can just go straight to hell.
It's what you deserve in your online early existence.
Right. In this online-only nightmare you've given yourself to.
I will say the most annoying thing about this game are some of the races that go across the freeways.
Mm-hmm.
The Los Angeles like spaghetti freeways.
Right.
If
that's
you
a good
need
one.
to take if you need to turn off,
Yeah.
and you miss it in the race, it's over. Like you cannot.
Oh,
turn
you're
around on the
just
freeway
done so? Yeah.
and get like a different turn off later on.
Can you, like, physically not turn around in the freeway? Like, there's
I mean,
a
you
weird,
can,
there's a weird
but,
barrier or whatever?
I mean, everyone will have overtaken you in the race. Like if you
Oh.
miss a turn off, it's like real life.
Yeah, like when you're driving down the freeway and you're like, well, we missed the turn. I guess we're going to Las Vegas now. There's just, I don't know what to do.
So this is what I like about the game too. Is like I'm playing this now. I'm racing this car, and I'm like I don't think it doesn't go into a drift easily enough for my liking. So Next time I'm in the garage, I'm gonna work on that.
Can you, once you finish this race, can you do any off-roading, like out here in the countryside?
No.
What?
There's no off-roading.
No off-roading? But what if you want to go off-road? What if you want to drive up a mountain? You saying I can't drive up that mountain?
You cannot, no. Your car can't jump over the barriers. That was bad.
Oh, this game's a metaphor for life. Can't
Please
jump
keep your
over the-
arms and legs inside the vehicle
That's right.
at all times.
I did notice they bothered to model a tiny little ghost person to put inside of the car just so you don't feel weird.
Like it's a self-driving sentient
Yeah, like
car.
it's one of those sentient cars, yeah.
That was the cool thing about Split Second, though. It felt like you were the car.
Oh, yeah. I mean, everything about Split Second was the cool thing about Split Second.
Yeah, that's true.
Can you call down any airplanes to crash land on the track this game and change the whole layout?
Oh man, just imagine like a new generation version of that.
Oh my god, they could do it. It would just be an open world, and when you get far enough away from like the previous things that you detonated, they would just reset and you'd come back around. Everybody would be driving around, just setting off explosions, planes would be crashing everywhere, buildings are falling over,
What other racing games do you like?
trains are rolling down. Let's see. I mentioned MotorStorm. I really liked I liked the first one, and then I really got into Pacific Rim, Pacific Rift maybe. Let's see. Motor
I like Pacific
Storm.
Rim. That's correct.
Pacific Rift.
Is it Rift? It's Rift?
It is in fact Rift.
Oh, I guess Rim was taken by the movie.
I guess so. I really liked that game. I thought that was a lot of fun. I liked all the different how you
Do
could have like a
MotorStorm
truck
Apocalypse?
and a motorcycle. No.
Oh no, I think that was a head-to-head collision with an online player.
Okay.
Which would frustrate a lot of
waiting
people,
for it,
I think.
waiting for it,
But
waiting
I like it. I like
waiting
that
for
there's
it.
that dynamic element to the game.
You are driving by what looks to be a lot of other actual people. Oh wait, maybe you're gonna crash into this guy.
Well, it's
Oh,
'cause
you
they have a
totally did.
name.
I think. Okay, so what I think happened there, he might have been in a race because you drove by two other people that looked like they had names above their cars. And if that is the case, you totally wrecked that guy's day. But I was gonna
Especially
say,
given the car that hit him.
right.
It was taken out by the pink.
The pink animal
cat
car.
car.
I mean, of all the cars to get taken out by, at least it was an entertaining one. But yeah, I loved Pacific Rift. I loved that you could have a truck like barreling through the center of the track and then have like motorcycles weaving around it and all the different like overlapping routes that the different types of vehicles can take. I thought all of that was really interesting.
Now, do you need to get back to running us down on the most popular stories for Caught Up? I mean, it's not as exciting as the dog-cat car.
Right. Goodness, yeah, I do actually. We're behind on our list of stories. Let's go ahead.
While you do that, I'm just gonna look at the car again because I just like it so much.
Just appreciate it. Let's see. So we're about at 4:30. Let's go ahead and just hit 1, 2, 3, rapid fire, and we'll say 4, 5. So we'll start with number 5. Number 5, most popular story from last week. Another one of our Destiny stories. Oh, a real favorite here on Caught Up. It was Bungie knew 3 of coins would be absurd in Destiny. That's taken from an interview with Luke Smith that Edge did. And you can read all about that because it's about Destiny. Fourth most popular story from last week was Halo 5 Guardians review. Our Halo 5 Guardians review, which I know our very own Dave Houghton has been working very hard on these last couple of weeks.
It's a lot of game to review in that.
I know. It's a massive amount of game. He's finally done with it. I know he's happy to finally get it up on the site, but
that multiplayer, it's fun.
He enjoyed the game. Yep, apparently it's all about the multiplayer 100%. He said, certainly not a bad Halo game, but one that succeeds despite its innovations, not because of them. With multiplayer, the high point Halo 5 is worthwhile, if not always truly convincing. So I know, Ludwig, you had some reservations about like some of the single player stuff, the pacing of the story in Halo 5 that we talked a little bit about last week. But we ended up giving it a 4 out of 5. So overall, very solid game.
Yeah, I think the campaign is really well designed.
Okay.
Plays really well. It's just it folds down in terms of the narrative and the writing, basically.
Too bad.
The best.
And then finally, we'll hit the number 3 real quick. Number 3 is a news story. This is not a human being's face. It's PS4's most realistic protagonist yet. This comes via little video that Ninja Theory put out talking about Hellblade and some of the mocap work that they did for the main heroine in that game, and how they're using this company called 3 Lateral to help do all of this crazy facial capture stuff. So they've got like a little dev diary type video that you can check out in that news story, and it is in fact quite lifelike. Remember, this is the same development house that brought us Heavenly Sword, which people remember for that, the realistic characters in that game, as well as Enslaved Odyssey to the West and DMC Devil May Cry. So these people know their faces.
They do.
So that was number 3, and then we'll get to 2 and 1 here in just a second. Some people asking if this game has come out yet. I don't believe it has, but it's coming out soon. Isn't that right, Ludwig?
It's coming out tomorrow.
Okay.
I think if you are an EA Access subscriber,
right,
you can play right now. So I just jumped to this different part of the map. It is southwest, but it's like sort of the upper part of that area. It's sort of
it looks rainy and dark,
forested, and like it's quite different from the cityscape that we were driving through.
A little less urban.
And it's this game type I really like. It's called, I think it's Tuge or Tug. I'm not really sure how to pronounce it, honestly. But it's basically a combination of racing. So you have to be at the front of the pack, but you also have to drift to earn points, and you get more points higher up in the pack. So I think that's like an interesting combination. Do that right now. The incredible dog cat car.
Now, Ludwig, I'm looking. I just wanted to double check on Steam, and it looks like Burnout Paradise: The Ultimate Box is only $20, which I feel like
I don't like that game.
You don't like Burnout Paradise?
Yeah, it's like it's too.
You don't like DJ Atomica? Maybe his ghost is haunting the streets of Need for Speed.
I feel like some of the open world stuff in that was just not. It was too inconvenient.
Okay.
It's like get things started.
You have to drive up. You have to find the specific intersection that you want to stop at, come to a complete stop at, and initiate your event.
Yeah. A lot of that stuff is in this game too, but I feel like some of those refinements go a long way just to get you in and out. Nice.
The more I think about it, the more I really like the idea that the ghost of DJ Atomica is hiding. Because there's always like people are always looking for the Yeti and stuff in GTA games. Like, what if there's the ghost of DJ Atomica and he's haunting Need for Speed?
Haunting music.
He's haunting your radio station. Oh man, you would like turn on the radio and you'd hear like a crackly, staticky voice come in for like half a second. Who was that? Who was that mysterious man? It's DJ Atomica. He's in your game.
I thought he's been dead for years.
There's like there'd be like some billboard that you drive by that you never look at, and then one day you stop and look at it, and it's like a news story about how a guy named DJ Atomica was in like a car crash 15 years ago or something.
And his music is playing on the radio that exact moment.
Oh,
and then when it ends, they're like, "Thank you for that live performance, DJ Atomica."
What? And then all your friends call you on the cell phone. You've got to drive to the signal source of that broadcast and stop and race DJ Atomica's ghost down the mountain to put his spirit to rest. This would be, oh my goodness. I think we're striking gold here.
Hopefully the creators of Need for Speed are not watching, because they would be stealing that idea immediately.
Exactly.
We would miss out on those sweet, sweet royalties.
So Ludwig, what other, besides Split Second, what was your other favorite racing game?
Oh, that's a good question. Sorry, I love Forza Horizon 2.
Right.
Love it.
Which we talked a little bit about earlier.
Yeah, it is great off-roading. I'm also a big fan of, I think is it Colin McRae 3 or Colin McRae 4?
Okay.
Back when rally games were a thing.
Okay.
More so than they are now. And of course, Rally Sport Challenge for the original Xbox.
Really a rally racer kind of guy.
Love rallying because it's about precision driving, and you just have to listen to your navigator and drive precisely. You don't have to worry about other cars. Or, It's all about you versus the clock.
Ah.
Mastering
Like
your vehicle.
that precision and execution.
Exactly.
See, I just like blowing stuff up. And I liked how in Pacific Rift you had a boost button and you could just boost constantly if you drove through water.
I like Motorhead. That's a really good game.
Yeah, yeah.
That was by DICE back in the day before they made Battlefield games.
That is crazy
forever.
to think about, yeah. They worked on racing games.
Yeah. I really hope someone looks into their rearview mirror and sees this
Actually,
monstrosity bearing down on them.
something I'm curious to see that's starting to happen in your game, like, when the sun... Does the sun ever come up?
I think it tries to come up.
And then it just, like,
Does its
lapses
best, and the
back in
clouds are
night?
like, nope, forget about it. Having a fun little drive down the freeway here. Back into the city. Across this bridge.
Remember
Part
Need
of the
for
bridge and
Speed?
tunnel crowd now.
Remember Need for Speed: The Run? Should I play
do.
that just
The
for
Run
fun?
is like the cross-country drive one, right?
just for funsies? Like, was
That
that
was the
game
one that had like
entertaining?
a Hollywood-style...
That was The Run, because you could get out of your car and run around through action set pieces.
But I feel like there was another one that was like that, though.
That was Hollywood-esque.
Yeah.
I like this bridge you're driving.
There have been a lot of...
There have been a lot of Need for Speed games.
games.
Yeah, I was like the Wikipedia page says that this Need for Speed game is like over. They've had over 20 Need for Speed games. It's like the 22nd or something like that.
Like the weird thing is, like, if you're gonna, like, they're so different each time anyway. Why is this one?
I know, right? It's yeah. That's
Well,
what
like
I'm
this.
saying.
This is a car that I can get parts from, but it's clearly beneath the freeway. But its logo is kind of like sticking up through the road.
Well, you know, just don't.
This game is a little
It's
buggy.
Tomica's Ghost. It's Tomica's
It's a little
Ghost.
buggy.
I'm telling you, he's in that car. He's gonna come after you.
My favorite bug in this game is when you start a race and it starts you facing the wrong way.
Oh,
That's great.
that's just wild card mode. Is what that is.
And what's really confusing is you will take off because everyone else in the race is also facing that way, and you're like, oh, I've got to catch up.
Wait,
But everyone is going the wrong way.
wait, hold on. It starts everybody. So like everybody takes off, and then they all just have to like just peel around pull a 180 to get going in the right way.
Well, like, I don't know which way they're taking. Like, are they taking the long route? Like, they're circling back on...
Oh, they're gonna like go loop
Goal.
around.
Because if you turn around and go the right way, according to the GPS,
Yeah.
which should put you in the lead automatically, it doesn't count as you being in the lead.
Uh huh.
Because you're still behind the pack, which has, in their pack mentality, decided that, you know, getting to this goal is going the other way.
I guess. Can you take so if you're in a race, something that they
See what
kind
I
of
have nearby here. Let's see if
something
there's
that they
a good-
kind of let you do in Burnout Paradise was you could take all sorts of different routes through the city to get to your end destination, or at least that was the idea. There wasn't just like one specific route that you had to follow with everybody. Like
Yeah.
in this game, does it sort of funnel you down one specific route, or can
Yeah,
you
like your
try
GPS,
to find shortcuts and stuff?
GPS is basically making the track for you.
Okay.
There's a handful of circuit races where they'll like sort of loop you back a few times, but for the most part, most of the challenges and the events in this game are built around drifting challenges. So scoring points with stylish driving.
Okay.
See if I can find this vehicle that I can liberate parts from. There it is. Collect free part.
That's one way to put it. You need to set up an elaborate trap involving some porta potties strewn out across
EL
the
manifold. It was my manifold destiny to get that part.
ye old manifold.
And there are spots where you can do donuts. That's one of the other collectibles. I think I'm coming up on one again here.
Do you get
Wait.
points for driving the wrong way into a one-way street?
Yes.
Wonderful.
That may be style.
That was my favorite
What's
thing to do in the Saints Row games. What you're doing right here is about the closest thing, I think, to off-roading. This game's got
beneath bridging.
Yeah, beneath bridging. Do a little urban exploring. You're gonna go drive around in an abandoned hospital next. I like this because it's a cat face, and then it's a dog face.
Yeah.
It's a cat face, and then there's a dog face.
The brilliance of the design.
It tells a story. It tells a story.
Yeah.
When you do a donut in your car, oh my goodness, you could set up like a little 4-act play. Like, one side of your car is Act 1, the front of it's Act 2, the other side's Act 3.
Go ahead and start another event here. Tariq 2-step. We get 35,000 drift points, which may actually be pretty difficult with this car. It's still not as drifty as I want.
Even though the game like requires you to have an internet connection, if I really just don't want to have other people in my game, can you like turn that off?
Can block people from joining. Yes.
Okay.
Can say play alone. There's an option.
I prefer to play alone.
Leave me alone, guys.
Ugh. They all just keep parking out in the middle of the road.
I haven't really seen much trollish behavior, but I mean, maybe that's just because...
That's because, yeah, you're in a limited, selection.
Oh, excuse me, officer, I'm trying to complete a drift challenge. There's really no need for you to chase me. How's the old Chad doing?
Oh, they're doing all right. There's some discussion about manual versus auto transmissions going on.
I love driving like in real life with a manual transmission.
Right.
Not in a video game for some reason. I don't know why.
Are you just too focused on other things, perhaps?
I'm just like too focused on driving well. Not having to worry about that. Oh man, I'm gonna fail this drift challenge. It's terrible. It's because Manu was trying to call me. That's why he was distracting me.
You should take a call at least from one person. I feel like you've rejected every single call you've received the entire stream.
I just don't want to talk to you guys.
Also, oh man, you should though. Can you? Are we allowed? Can you show like one of the weird live action cutscenes?
Oh yeah, I think so. I just didn't. I was worried about spoilers, but I mean,
maybe if there's like an early one, that would be.
I don't know if I can like just get an early one again. I think.
Well, yeah, we don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah, I can see if there's one, but I feel like most of these are ones that I've progressed quite far along. So I don't have anyone. I don't think I have any that'll just be a cutscene. They're all like events at this point. Let me check my messages.
There's also a lot of collective eye rolling at the thought of spoilers in a Need for Speed game happening.
Oh yeah, as there should be. But yeah, none of the missions I have right now would have a cutscene, unfortunately. Although I wonder if I can. Well, I can reset my progress, but that seems a little extreme.
Alright.
I think the game is tied to my gamer tag, so...
Probably,
I
yeah.
have to create a guest account,
It'd be a whole thing.
It'd be a whole thing.
I'm gonna go ahead and hit us with the number 2 most popular story from last week while you flip through that. This one is one that I'm pretty excited about. Xbox One backwards compatibility gets a November release date. Courtesy of Major Nelson on Twitter. He's saying the backwards compatibility service is going to start launching for Xbox One owners on November 12th. And if you check out the news story, we've got links to like the list of all the backwards compatible games they've announced so far. I'm pretty sure we also have a gallery of like the backwards compatible games that the fewest people have voted for, which is a pretty sad little
list.
Yeah, it's a sad. Yeah,
it's a bunch of games. I feel sad for those games.
Yeah, you'll have never heard of any of them. and none
What's
of
your
them are ever
favorite on
gonna...
that list? Do you remember any of them?
My favorite is Tornado Outbreak, which I have on my Amazon wish list, and it's like $9. It looks like, basically, if you guys don't know about Tornado Outbreak that I'm about to go on this big tangent on, it's like a Katamari Damacy style game, but you play as a sentient tornado, and you go around like, you start out as like the tiniest little baby tornado, and you like scare the feathers off of chickens, and then you just grow and grow until you're knocking over like barn houses and stuff.
Wow.
It's pretty great.
You're going to be bringing that to the office, I
but
assume?
It's never going to be...
everyone to enjoy?
It'll never be backwards compatible on Xbox One, but yes, I will bring it into the office.
I don't know that. Maybe you'll pop it in and you'll be pleasantly surprised.
It'll just work.
Yeah.
That's like on the... They have like a secret menu of backwards compatible games, like really unpopular games that they don't advertise are backwards compatible on Xbox One. You just have to figure it out. Not a lot of pedestrians in Need for Speed.
Well, it's raining outside. They're all inside.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
Like that one Batman game where they were like, everyone is inside because it's cold and it's winter and it's Christmas.
Yeah, it's good.
That's why there are no people outside in the city.
We just finished that one, actually.
Arkham Origins?
Yeah, we saw the
It's not a bad game.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
It's not as good as the others, that's all.
Right.
I finally made it to the event that I selected.
Are you rewarded at all for wiping out, and are there any wipeout specific events?
No.
But crashing is my favorite part.
It is odd why they didn't just like make another Burnout, because they could call it that.
Is there a nitro
Yeah,
button
he has the rights to it. Yeah, there is.
in this game? People are talking. There's some nitro talk in the chat.
There is indeed. I'm going to use it to help me win this race or this time trial, hopefully.
This is interesting to watch because I just saw, where I'm at in the stream, like the sun, wow, the sun really was just starting to come up, and then the clouds just tripled in thickness, and now it's solid black again.
The people who live in the city are really depressed.
Right, they're just like, oh, it's about to happen, maybe this time.
Maybe this time.
No.
It's like if Seattle was in Alaska.
Right, basically. 30 days of night.
Someone just joined my game. It's exciting. Welcome, person who joined my game. Oh man, I wiped out right at the end. Horrible disfiguring crash.
Let's see it, let's see it, let's see it, let's see it.
Good one. You like crashes, so...
I still like this bridge you're driving on. It's very nice. There's the guy who
matches
joined
my
your
car.
game. Threw you off. Oh yeah, you did just rear end the hell out of this guy.
See, I just nearly missed an exit.
Oh.
So you're about to see what happens. You have to be on that exit, or you won't make it in time.
I was not kidding around about those exits. Oh yeah, there it is. Yep. Everything stops. Everything stops. Back up. Go to the exit. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
I'm being fined because I'm a reckless driver. Police are
Are there like, are there higher density, lower density areas of the world, or does it all feel? Because like, at least watching you drive through this challenge, like it feels pretty open. Like we're not seeing a whole lot of traffic.
Yeah, no, it's about the same everywhere. It's like it's pretty flat and empty for the most part.
Okay.
Which I am sure is a response to the previous game where people felt like it was too busy.
Oh, okay.
I know, I like having pedestrian or civilian traffic.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you feel
worked really well
it's-
for Burnout.
Do you feel it's empty at all, or?
I feel like it's
perhaps-
too empty.
Okay.
I wish it was a little more alive.
Because I do kind of like the challenge of in street racing games of like having to navigate
Yeah,
the other drivers on the road.
it works for Burnout really well. That went pretty well.
Does this game give you one of those like percentage complete indicators?
Yes, that is on the main menu.
You've been playing this game for 26 hours and have done 8%.
You were 8% along the way. Congratulations.
Is that completely accurate?
Playing The Witcher of driving games.
I know, right?
We have a scenic opportunity here. I'm going to look at the cityscape. The cat on my car is getting dirty, as is the dog.
Magnus Spule in the chat asking, how are the controls? Says it looks a little wobbly at high speeds.
That's only because my car is tuned to be very inclined to go into a drift at all times. But the controls are fine.
Okay.
Like, they're very customizable, which is pretty cool. So I feel like that conversation is going to be very different for this game between people. There are definitely things get a little wobbly at high speed if you're more of a drifting car.
Yeah, you could make the car like tighter and stiffer if you wanted to.
Yes. I haven't gotten this Vista yet. It's a crime. How do I get to it? Must have collectible.
Oh wait, there are collectibles? I mean, of course there are collectibles. It's an open world game. Who am I kidding?
I got the Ghost Stadium Vista.
See, it's these clues. These clues the game is dropping. Ghost Stadium? Who were we talking about earlier?
DJ Atomica!
It's his ghost! Somewhere, I'm looking at it now, of you taking the Vista image. Somewhere in that picture there is a tiny ghost.
Well, and the word ghost.
If you, like, invert the colors and zoom in 200%.
Right. Well, looks like I found another collectible. There's some free parts around here. Quote unquote free.
How does the progression work? Are you, like, accruing money and then using that to just buy whatever you want, or does the game like hand you new cars and new parts and things like that?
Everything that you do, every time you level up, you get some money. Every event that you do, you get money from that. So as long as you're doing stuff, like you get money in a decent rate, but then you choose whether or not to put that money into the car that you're currently driving, make it a really high performance vehicle. Well, I just rear-ended a cop.
You gotta keep him on his toes.
Yeah.
A lot of people in the
is
chat.
that illegal?
A lot of people in the chat asking about the Skyline and how you unlock it.
You can just buy it.
Okay. Can you like?
It's a fairly expensive car though. It's like it's
Okay. But you have the
quite a while.
You have the option to right away, like right out of the gate.
I think so. I don't think the cars are connected to level. Unless I'm mistaken.
If you actually
No, you cannot buy the one that we've made for this stream
Oh yeah, because I mean it's
because it is.
you can't recreate
reproducible.
perfection.
Yeah.
What
This
would
is a
happen
one-time
if you
thing.
actually let this police officer catch you?
You just get fined and you lose money. Apparently,
Oh,
no crime is above a fine.
That's like the new
You
police
destroyed
officer motto
70% of the city.
in this.
That'll be
in this
one
world.
fine.
Yeah. You just get charged, and it just like however much you get charged is scaled to the amount of damage you do, or the severity of the crime. Everyone in this world just goes to debtor's prison.
Well, the cops know how to hit you where it hurts the most, which is making it more difficult for you to upgrade your car. Purchase a new one.
And Bucky in the chat, to answer your most recent question, yeah, I believe you're spot on. If you did want to unlock the Skyline, you probably could just grind up a hella bunch of money and unlock it straight away. Or at least pretty early on.
Did we hit the top story yet? Where we've got 3 minutes to go. That's right.
Let's go ahead and hit the top story. This one didn't surprise me that it made it into the top for reasons that will make themselves obvious. Number one, most popular story from last week. And this, when I say it's most popular, I'm excluding things like old guides and stuff that people keep coming back to week after week, month after month. So, of the stuff we posted last week, most popular story, why is Cortana naked? Question mark. Halo franchise director Frank O'Connor has an answer. And boy, does he ever.
I was just fined $600, by the way.
She's
all of that.
She's computer naked. Is anybody computer naked in your game, by the way? But apparently, Cortana, there is an explanation for why she's naked, quote unquote. Whether or not it's a good explanation is for you to decide.
Or whether it's above the other explanation, which is, we wanted a sexy lady.
I mean, yeah, at the end of the day...
I'm going to end the stream on this this beautiful car that we've made together.
Oh, look at this!
It has so many details, like the cat, the Need for Speed logo at the back.
Mm-hmm. It tells the story.
The Plants vs. Zombies decal that I applied badly, and then just left.
I like how you applied the first one badly, but then like you learned, you built up from your mistakes, and were able to do a better job the second time. Also, the license plate on that car says Ghost. I'm just saying.
It's DJ Atomica.
I'm just saying, he's with us in spirit. We thank you all in the chat for being with us in actuality and enjoying our stream of Need for Speed. Be sure to come back tomorrow, 12:30 Pacific. Anthony John Agnello is going to be hosting I Got Next, and I'm sure he's got somebody on the hook for that stream, but you'll just have to wait and see who it is. For Maxwell McGee and Lucas Sullivan, we're wishing you all a happy week, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.
Did you just call me Lucas Sullivan?
I did,
How
because
dare you?
I was talking about that nerd Lucas
you?
Sullivan earlier in the stream. You're Ludwig Kitzman. I'm terribly sorry.
Yeah. Well, it's all those L's, man.
I know, you
It
people
happens.
with your L
It happens.
names.